Hello and welcome to BFS Wargaming. So today we're doing another Necron codex video, and today we're looking at the fast attack and the heavy support slots. So kicking off, we've got the Canoptic Scarab Swarms. Got there in the end. So I think the Scarab Swarms are really good. You can have them units of between 3 and 9, and their weapon skill is gone to 4. Their movement 10, they do have the fly keyword. They only strength and toughness 3, but they have gone to 4 wounds, which is really, really nice. 4 attacks each with a 6-up save. And they're just strength user. But each unmodified hit roll of a 6 automatically wounds the target. So you can get some wounds through with that amount of attacks. Now these are really good. You can actually... so even if you're just taking... You've got a spare 45 points and you want to take a unit of 3 just to sit on an objective or something like that at the back of the field. Brilliant for that. Brilliant to screen out. You can also, with the Chronomancer, give them a 5-up invon and stick 9 of them somewhere and make them a really durable objective holder. So you could literally, I mean, if you were building like a Canoptic list, you could really build around these. So you can end up taking 20, 30 of them. So yeah, I think they're really, really cool. I really like them, and they're a really useful unit. So moving on, we have the Ophidian Destroyers, new models. So these have the fly keyword as... Oh no, they don't. They have Infantry Destroyer Cult, Ophidian Destroyers, Necrons. I thought they would have fly. Interestingly, they don't. Okay, so they move 10, 3 plus, strength 4, toughness 4, only T4. Oof. For destroyers. All the other destroyers are T5. Why are they T4? They're 3 wounds, like all the other destroyers, but they're T4. Doesn't really make sense, does it? And they've only got a 4 plus save. Okay. So they've got Hyperphase Reap Blade, same as the... Scorpex, and the Hyperphase Threshers, same as the Scorpex. They also have Ophidian Claws, so you can make 2 additional attacks with this weapon. It's strength 4, -1, 1 damage. So they get a couple of extra attacks. Hardwire for destruction, so they get the reroll ones to hit. Hyperphase Reap Blades, each time model in the unit makes attack with Hyperphase Reap Blade, an unmodified hit roll of a 6 scores 1 additional hit. That's nice. So building up on those attacks now. Each time, whip coil bodies. Each time a melee attack is made against this unit, subtract 1 from the hit rolls. Okay, so that makes them a little bit more durable because they're -1 to hit. Only in melee though. Tunneling Horrors. During deployment, you can set these up underground instead of setting them up on the battlefield, and you can bring them in reinforcements as the rest. So as of turn 2, more than 9 inches away. They're good, like they could quite easily cut through some stuff, but they're going to die really quickly. Really quickly. Yeah, I mean, if you just want like a one-punch unit, just jump in and delete some stuff, and then you're happy for it to die. Okay. The only thing is with it, if you start them off the battlefield, it's a 9-inch charge. The best Necrons can get, as far as I know, is +1 to charge. And there's no like roll 3d6, pick the 2 highest. So you're relying on an 8-inch charge, which, you know, if you don't get that 8-inch charge, even with a CP reroll, that's quite easy to fail. You're suddenly just got a lot of points sitting in the middle of the field getting blown apart. And they're not even -1 to hit against shooting, so you fail the charge and then they just go and they're all dead. Toughness 4. 4-up save. Like, they're just going to get annihilated. Personally, for me, these are a bit of a fail. If they're a little bit hardy, I don't know why they're not T5. If they were T5 with a 3-up save, there'd definitely be more of a choice. 100%. But then I suppose people would just take these over the Scorpec Destroyers if that was the case, because they're getting extra attacks and stuff. So they're trying to balance between the two, but I think they should have just come up with something a bit different. Maybe give them different weapons or something. But that's just my opinion. I think as they stand, I don't think I'd take them, so I don't think they're too good. Tomb Blades. Tomb Blades are good and they are core. So they do get, you know, you can put My Will Be Done on them. You can get +1 to move on them. Or is that only infantry? It might only be infantry. But they move 14. And let's just check to see if it is just infantry. Relentless March. No, Celtic core units. So they can get +1 to move, which is really nice. So they can be moving 15 inches. It's pretty good. So these are toughness 5. 2 wounds apiece. They have a 4-up save, but you can give them a 3-up save by spending a bit more money with the shield veins. You can give them a 5-up invuln with Shadow Loom. They're naturally -1 to hit if they still have that. Yep, with invasion engrams. And you could also ignore the benefits of cover when you shoot with them if you wanted. But obviously you will need to balance how many points you're spending into what it's worth. But I think they're really, really great. They've got the, you know, the option of the twin Tesla carbines, so it's just Tesla, but you've got twin versions. The twin Gauss blasters or the particle beamer. So yeah, I think they're nice. I mean, they're core. They're really maneuverable. They're basically immortals with a -1 to hit on bikes with an extra wound. That's basically what they are, which you can make a little bit tankier. So you know, really, really good. Really, really like them. I can't say enough good things. So, next up is Triumphatorian. So Triumphatorians are dynastic agents, so they don't get the dynasty benefits. So movement 10, 3+3+, strength and toughness 5, wounds 2, tax 3, 3-up save. So you're only ever going to take the Rod of Covenant at the moment. You're not going to take the Particle Caster and Void Blade because you just wouldn't. It's just not as good. So strength 5, -3, 2 damage for both the shooting and the melee. It's only 12-inch range and it's only assault 1 for the shooting. So these I think are good, but you're probably only going to play them with the Silent King because he buffs them really, really well. So yeah, I'm not sure you're going to see much play. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're still a good unit on their own and they're still fun and stuff. I mean, 3 attacks, 2 damage each, -3, strength 5. They're pretty good Primaris killers, and there's a lot of Primaris about, or Space Marine killers now because they're all 2 wounds. So yeah, they're pretty tasty. But I think you'll see them with the played with the Silent King one often than not. So Canoptic Race, still a really good unit. They've gone down in points. They've got slightly worse, so they're now weapon skill ballistic skill 4. But you can buff that with a Technomancer with the node. Movement 12, strength 4, toughness 5, 3 wounds, 4 attacks, and a 3-up save. They no longer have the 3-up invuln. They have a 4+ invulnerable instead. You can shoot and declare a charge in which a turn you fell back, which is really nice. The majority of people don't take these with guns, but if you wanted to, you could take the Particle Caster, you could take Transdimensional Beamer, which is now Assault 1, Strength 4, -3, 3 damage. They used to do mortal wounds, but it doesn't anymore. It seems to have got a lot worse, and it's still quite expensive. I mean, the guns aren't great, so I probably wouldn't take any. If that was like Strength 6, -3, 3 damage, then I'd be like, okay, might be worth taking. So Vicious Claws is +2, -2, 2 damage. So Strength 6, -2, 2 damage. Really good. Really, really nice. You know, 4 attacks each. I mean, they're probably hitting on 4s or 3s if you've got the Chronomancer there, but the Technomancer, sorry. You can use whip coils, so each attack you get 2 hit rolls instead of 1, so you get 8 attacks, but it's at strength 4, -1, 1 damage. I'd go for the Vicious Claws myself. Yeah, so they have Ray Form as well. They can move through. It's like basically having the fly keyword in the movement phase and the 4-up invuln. They've got reanimation protocols. I mean, you take a big unit and then 3 get deleted, you get to roll 9 dice. There's a good chance you're going to get 1 back. So it's nice. And you can take them with units between 3 and 6. So yeah, a good choice. And like I say, if you're building around that Canoptic list, they're really, really good. They're good objective holders if you give them objective secured as well with the dynasty trait. I think these are a really, really good option, and they're hard to shift, so you know, quite durable with that 4-up invuln. I would have liked to have seen them got the 4-up, because they've lost the 3-up invuln, and like Storm Shields now are not 3-up invuln, they're 4-up +1 save characteristic. I'd like to have seen Wraiths get that. It would have made them that little bit more durable, so they've got a 3-up save 4-up invuln now, but maybe that would have been a bit too strong. Who knows? So now we are going to move on to the heavy support. So the first one is the Annihilation Barge. So it's movement 12, weapon skill 6, ballistic skill 3+, strength 5, toughness 6, 8 wounds, 3 attacks, 3+ save. You can have a Gauss cannon, so you can have, or you can have the twin Tesla destructor or a Tesla cannon. I think these are alright. I mean, they got quantum shielding, so they're a little bit more durable. You can't wound them on better than a 4, so you have to put some, you know, you're gonna have to put some firepower. They've got the 5-up invuln. I think they're alright, but I can't see them. They're alright. They're not horrendous, but they're not great either. They're alright. Okay, the Doomsday Arc. Now, the Doomsday Arc, I am disappointed. I'm disappointed because the whole way through 8th, everyone moaned about the fact that this gun can do so much damage or nothing. And it was so swingy. And I thought, all I wanted was like, make it 2d3 shots. Just make it just a little bit more reliable. Just a smidge. But they didn't. It's still good. Like, you know, you can still take stuff out with it. It's still really good anti-tank. So it's still, you got the lower power, heavy power, heavy D6, strength 10, -5 D6 damage. It's really good, but obviously if you use that profile, you can't move. It has quantum shielding. It has 14 wounds. It has a 3-up save down instead of a 4-up, which is much better. It's unbelievable how much better that is. It's toughness 6, and it has a degradation table. So I still think it's probably the best anti-tank option we've got for its points. We'll get onto some of the well, we're going through the anti-tank options really with the heavy support here anyway. And obviously they have the Gauss as well, the Gauss flayers, which I think are really valuable. So they've got 10 Gauss flayers on them as well, which I think is what sets it above the competition. So the Lockhust Destroyers are still really good. I mean, you're hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s to hit. You know, your toughness 5, 3 wounds, 2 attacks. Not that that's anything really, but they're not a close combat unit. But you know, you've got the Gauss cannons, which are heavy 3, strength 6, -3, D3 damage, and you've got the stratagem. So the stratagem has been slightly nerfed. It's now 2 CP instead of 1, and you're only re-rolling wounds instead of re-rolling hits and wounds. The re-rolling hits doesn't really matter because you're hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. It's fine. The re-roll wounds is really what you wanted, so you can take them big armor things out where you're wounding on 5s. You get to then re-roll it. Then it makes them a very good anti-tank. So yeah, for me, these are still brilliant choice. And you know, you stick a Lockhust Lord or a Scorpec Lord with them, and then they're re-rolling 1s to wound anyway without the stratagem. So yeah, I think they're an extremely good choice still. Maybe stick a Chronomance with them to give them a 5-up invuln, keep them a little bit more safe. I mean, I'd be taking them in units of 5. All of like the destroyer units, I'd be taking in probably 5s, because then they're not sort of 5's sort of the magic number, I think, for elite, especially elite units, because of like coherency, blast, all those sorts of things. Then you have the Lockcast Heavy Destroyers, which you can actually put one with the Destroyer. These guys are quite cool. Pretty much exactly the same, apart from they get an extra wound as profile. And they can take the Emetic Exterminator, which is heavy D3, strength 7, -1 damage, which is a blast weapon. Or you can take the Gauss Destructor, which is heavy 1, strength 10, -4, 3d3 damage. That's nice. It is nice. You only get one attack with it, but it is nice. It's not blast, obviously. Oh yeah, the other thing is neither of the Lockcast Heavy or the Lockcast Destroyers, they don't suffer the penalty for moving and shooting with their heavy weapons, which is really nice as well. Okay, let's move on. So yeah, both really good options, really versatile, good against anti-tank, good against elites, so really good. So the last in the heavy slot is the Canoptic Doomstalker. So weapon skill, ballistic skill 4+, movement 10 inches, strength and toughness 6, attacks 3, wounds 12, save 3+. So it has the exact same weapon. Is it the exact same? Let me just check that. It's slightly different. So this is a Doomsday Blaster, not the Doomsday Cannon. On the Doomsday Arc, it's a Doomsday Cannon. So it is a blaster. So it is slightly different. It's slightly shorter range. So the low power is 24-inch rather than 36, and the high power is 48 rather than 72. But the actual stats of the weapon other than that are exactly the same. You have to remain stationary to use the high power, and the strength, AP and damage characteristic is exactly the same. So, and they have a twin Gauss Flare rather than 10. So they have 2 of them instead of 10 of them. So these are 140 points, and the Doomsday Arcs are 190 points. So with a Doomsday Arc, you're getting +1 ballistic skill. It's nice. You're getting 2 extra wounds, and you're getting quantum shielding. This has a 4-up invulnerable rather than quantum shielding, so it just has a straight up 4-up. So I don't know what's better. I do like the quantum shielding. I think it's really good. I think that is better. Also, this is the Sentinel construct. So basically, if a dynasty or dynastic agent, basically if anyone charges a dynasty or dynastic agent unit within 6 inches of this model, you can fire Overwatch instead of the dynastic agent, which is nice. But you're still D6 shots hitting on 6s. It's still not. It's nice. It's a nice thing to do. It's fun, but I'm not sure how well it will work most of the time. So obviously it's 4+ ballistic skill, but you can get that to a 3-up, which I should imagine if you were taking 3, you were then going to run a Technomancer with them with the Canoptic node to make them all 3-ups. They are 50 points cheaper. You've got 8 less Gauss Flare arrays, 2 less wounds. I mean, personally for me, I still prefer the Doomsday Arc over these, but I can understand why the attraction of these, and I do think they are still a good unit. They are still a good unit. Just for me, I'd prefer to pay the extra 50 points and have the Doomsday Arc. So that is the heavy support options and the fast attack. So I mean, they're all. This is what I'm saying about the Necron Codex. There's loads of really good options. So like the Canoptic Doomstalker and the Doomsday Arc, both really good options. You know, Lockcast Destroyers, good options. Obviously the heavy destroyers, you can only take these in 1 to 3, or you can put them into the Lockcast Destroyers. The thing with the heavy destroyers, if you take them a unit of 3, they are quite easy to kill. Then you've got the Annihilation Barge, which is a bit. I just don't think you'd bother. But see, so in the heavy support there, you've got 3 really, really nice options, you know. And there's other options for anti-tank as well as those 3, you know. And then with the fast attack, you've got the Wraiths, you've got the Tomb Blades, both really good options. You've got the Scarab Swarms, which are sort of like backup for the troop choice, really, to hold objectives, be annoying, screen, do stuff like that. And then you've got the Triumphatorians, which have definitely got their place, very cool unit. And then you've got the Ophidian Destroyers, which the Ophidian Destroyers are good. They're just very glass cannony, and when you haven't got enough reliability to get them in to combat, that's where they fall down. Like, you could start them on the board and then use them to sort of as a counter punch, which you could use. They might be quite good for that. But then I just think I'd just use the Scorpex, because it's only 2 inches less move they've got, and you could probably use them as a counter punch instead, and they're a lot more durable. So yeah, I think the Ophidian Destroyers, they missed the mark with that. I think everything else in the fast attack is a good option. I think the Triumphatorians are a good option. And then, yeah, I think they missed the mark with the Annihilation Barge, and everything else is a really good option. So, good news. Good news for Necron players, because there's a lot of options there. There's a lot of different ways to build lists around those fast attack and heavy support options. And in the next video, we're going to go into the transport, flyers, and the Lords of War. And then we'll look at the Silent King himself. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe if you did. And I'll see you in the next one. Stay lucky.